Good evening and welcome to day 15 of Bedtime Yoga for better sleep. This session is called Ease and we'll take a couple of poses we might usually do in gentle practice or even flow yoga, but really bring a sense of ease to them to help us wind down for a good night of sleep. If you like cushioning in kneeling poses, grab a blanket or roll up a towel, and if you have a block it can be useful if you're on the tighter side in your hamstrings. We'll begin this evening in child's pose. And if child's pose isn't an enjoyable or comfortable pose for you, take a comfortable seat instead. So find a child's pose that feels good or your comfortable seat. Your knees can be together or apart. And crawl your hands out in front of you. Rest your head down onto the floor, maybe even your block. And if it's hovering, don't be afraid to stack your forearms up or your hands up, so that you can get some support. Relax your hips back towards your feet. And just spend a few moments directing your attention towards your breath. Not changing anything, just observing your natural breath. And if you'd like to deepen your breath a little, breathe down towards your low back. Breathe in through your nose. And slowly out through your nose. Just a couple more of those. Deep breath in. Release some tension on your exhale. Smooth and steady inhale. And a lovely long exhale. On your next breath in, come up to your tabletop pose. If you were sitting, make your way onto all fours. And as I mentioned at the start, you might slide a blanket underneath your knees to cushion them, just so you're comfortable. When you're ready, begin some rounds of cats and cows, with the belly going down as you breathe in, looking slightly forwards of your mat. And as you exhale, scooping your tailbone down and your chin towards your chest. And just take this nice and easy. Breathe in and arch. Take your time. And out to round, stretching your back. Bring that stretch into the front of your body. Use your inhale to help. And back into the back again with a scoop down, tailbone towards your knees. Just one more of those, please, Yogi. And just take your time, let it be nice and easy. And come to neutral. You may opt to hold a table for a little while longer, just finding a little firmness to the belly. Or if you're feeling like it, you could tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And as I mentioned at the start, our idea here is to bring a little bit of ease to poses that can be quite active. So give your knees a bend, keep your heels up off the floor. Do still lift up through the shoulder blades so we're not sinking into the shoulders. But don't give too much attention to how straight you can get your legs or any attention to straightening the legs. Relax your face. Enjoy your breath here. And let your down dog be a little bit easier than usual. Now you may opt to lower your knees down. You could also go straight from down dog to this next pose as we walk the hands to the back of your mat and into a dangling pose. So your feet end up right underneath your hips, about a hip's distance apart, and give your knees a generous bend. And if you want to do a halfway lift, give yourself a bit more space, and then exhale into that bend. Knees are bent, spine is really relaxed, and relax your neck too. Now in dangling pose, it can be nice to keep the hands down. Your blocks might be useful at this point too, to keep your hands down if you want to feel a little bit more grounded and also better on your balance there. You could also put your hands on the opposite elbow and gently sway if that feels good for your back. Just let the head hang heavy. Kind of let go of your day, as if it could just tumble out of the top of your head. Everything that's been going on can be released. And release the hands down. Lengthen out. And as I mentioned, a block could be really nice if you're feeling some tightness in your hamstrings. And bend just your right knee, so your left leg becomes straight and your right knee is bent. So now you're stretching into the outside of your left leg. And there's no striving, no feeling like this needs to be a really intense stretch. Bring a little bit of ease into it. And let's switch to your other side. Straighten out your right leg, please, and bend your left knee. So your left hip is lower than the right. Your hands are supported by a block or the floor. And you breathe. Just giving the outside of your right leg a gentle stretch. Don't strive for more. Just find moderation and ease. Appreciating your body for all it does for you through the day. Just giving it this time to let go of some of the tension it may have accumulated. And then we'll release out of this. You can move your block off to the side if you were using it. And carefully climb your way forwards, back down into a tabletop pose. And so your next pose has two options. I'm going to move my blanket out from under because it can make the options feel a little bit weird. We'll go forwards with your right knee towards your right wrist and kick your right foot across you. So this is setting up for pigeon pose. If pigeon is okay for you, walk your left leg back until you feel a bit of a stretch for your right hip or left hip flexors. Now, if pigeon doesn't feel great for your knees or for anything else, you can lean onto your right side and slide your left knee up. Just like yesterday, we did deer pose to start off with, where you folded over your right shin. So that's very much the same stretch through the shin for a deer pose or pigeon pose. And coming into the sleeping version of each, coming down onto your forearms. Enjoying a few slow, steady breaths. And again, bring in an attitude of ease to it. Let it be a little easier than you might usually. No tension in your breath. We'll carefully climb our way back out of this, back into a tabletop. We'll switch sides. Bring your left knee forwards to the front left side of your mat and kick your foot across a little bit. Walk your right foot back until you start to feel just the right intensity. Moderation, of course. And remember, you can always slide onto your left thigh and bring your right thigh up to the sole of your left foot for a deer pose. And we'll lower down to be supported by your forearms. Keep the back of your neck long and just relax gradually through both hips. You might start to lengthen your exhales a little bit. So a nice easy inhale. And slightly longer exhale. See if I can help to carry away some tension, to carry away holding. And we'll carefully come out the same way and back up to the hands, and bit by bit back into your tabletop pose. We'll spin around to lie down. You can put your blanket up as a pillow if you like. And just lie down onto your back. Make sure your low back feels comfortable. Rest your feet on the floor with your knees bent. And stretch your right foot up to the ceiling. Hold on to your right thigh here, please. And just gently start to pull the foot towards the head end of your mat until you feel a hamstring stretch or calf stretch. Now in flow classes or other yoga classes, we might extend the left leg and take this into a really deep pose, but see whether you can find a little contentment with letting the pose be a little easier than usual. We'll release the right foot back down to the floor and stretch your left one up, holding onto your left thigh if you can reach comfortably. Just find that gentle stretch through the calf or hamstring. A little softness to your left knee can be nice too. Can you relax your shoulders anymore? And release your left foot to the floor. Stretch your arms out wide off the side of your mat. You can keep your knees as they are next to one another, or you can cross your right thigh over your left if you like, and take the legs to the left for a twist. Make sure you can rest them on something. Relax through the outside of your left leg. And carefully rise back up to the middle. If you did cross, you can uncross your legs and do the same the other way. Left leg over right, a little bump of your hips to the left, and let your knees drift to the right. Let them relax onto the floor, your feet or your knees or your thigh, so that you don't have to hold everything up. And a reminder to soften through the outside of the right leg. And then back up to the middle. If you feel a little wonky, bring yourself back to center. And gently pull your knees in towards your torso. Just hold around the knees with your hands or your forearms. Take a gentle rock side to side. This is one of our finishing poses this evening. You can choose to remain here in this upside down child's pose. Or if you want to finish a practice in a happy baby, you can hold your feet with your feet as if you're standing on the ceiling. Your arms are inside of your knees. And you can be still in these poses, or you can just gently rock side to side, whichever one feels best to you. We take a few more deep breaths with a focus on extending the exhale. You can release your feet or your shins or knees. Bring your feet to the floor with your knees bent. Take a deep belly breath in and sigh it out. If you'd like a little time in Shavasana, feel free to stretch out. And if you're ready to call it a night, make your way onto your side. And up to a seated posture. Rest your hands together in front of you. Expressing to yourself some gratitude for coming to your mat this evening. And let's breathe in and out. Wishing you a restful night of sleep. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this Bedtime Yoga for Better Sleep class. For a whole month of Bedtime Yoga, be sure to check out the series. Until next time, good night.